Hey Ty, from the time that you saw this Nuggets team in the playoffs to then seeing them Christmas Day to now preparing for them tonight, they look a little bit different each time. What are the most notable differences between both the Clippers roster and the Nuggets roster?
What do you mean? I don't understand, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Oh, just the change.
Between the rosters, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think for us, having key guys out, being injured is one of the things for us. I think those guys, acquiring Aaron Gordon and acquiring JaVale McGee, give those guys more athleticism. I think you get a guy like Aaron Gordon, another body you can throw at Kawhi and LeBron James in the Western Conference. A guy who's athletic, can run the floor. He can roll more. Joker can pop more, space more. So it's going to be some interesting things they can do with that team, and I'm pretty sure Coach Malone's going to figure that out. It's a little different right now, so we just got to just go out and play and just, like I said, keep working on our habits.
Thanks. Go to Tomer.
Hey, Ty, great to see you. First off, Paul and Marcus, are they playing today?
Marcus is in. I think PG's going to go through his routine and kind of see how he feels. Not sure yet. Going to be a game time decision, but Marcus is in.
Okay. And then when you have a team like the Nuggets, who you guys have played each other a lot throughout this season, the postseason, given how late it is in this season, do you play coy with some, things you don't want to show, or do you just, try to go all out and try to win the game?
You try to play coy as much as you can, but you still want to win the game. But you can't show everything, because we play this team in the playoffs, and a couple of adjustments you make, they might not be ready for in game one or game two. So, but we want to go out and win the game. We want to play well. We know they've made some different additions. We know they're playing well as well offensively. So we just got to take the challenge. I think continue to come in with our defensive mindset. Understanding what we're trying to do. Continue to build and work on our habits on both sides of the ball.
Thanks.
Let's go to Andrew.
Hey, Ty, back in January, you guys had a really nice game defending Aaron Gordon when he was with Orlando. But I'm curious, I know it's only in 2 games, so it's kind of hard to judge, but he seems like he's being really active with his cutting and getting out in transition for his buckets. Is the way he's being used with Denver, does that force you to kind of reevaluate how you defend him tonight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think, with the passing of Jamal Murray and the attention that he draws and the passing of Joker, he's going to get cuts, he's going to get dunks, he's going to, run the floor because Joker with the long outlets and things like that. So, you come to a team like this and you're athletic the way he is, you're going to get a lot of, cuts, a lot of dunks. So we just got to be prepared for that. And we know Joker, like I said, the best passing center that we've probably seen. And, when he's playing off the ball, versus him, you got to be aware at all times.
And then you mentioned how early on how hard it is with you guys being so shorthanded and hurt throughout the year. I'm just curious, because it's really been hard for you guys for 2 straight years to keep much lineup continuity. Are there things that you feel like ways you can help maximize the time you guys do have together to the point where you feel like the team is taking a step forward? Or until your roster is whole, do you feel like you're kind of just in a holding pattern?
Well, you feel like you are in a holding pattern, but I just think we got to just take advantage of these days, practice days. It's not going to be a lot of off days. I think, just having 30, 35-minute walkthroughs or just going through the plays, I think going through the defensive coverages and things we're trying to do, I think it's going to be important. And we've added some new stuff, while Pat's been out, while Serge has been out, Rondo's still coming along. So it's going to take some time. And the time we need is shoot-arounds. We need the practices as well, just to keep getting better. Like you said, we had this problem last year, so we just can't fall victim to that again.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go over to Miriam.
Hey, Ty, as far as kind of keeping guys healthy, do you think this season's sort of really compact schedule is not helping in that regard, both for you guys and around the league?
I'm not sure, Miriam. Injuries happen throughout the course of a season. Usually it's 1 or 2 guys, usually it's not 5 or 6 at the same time, so we just got to keep playing, keep competing. I think it's a gift and a curse because it's giving our young guys a chance to learn how to play and get the experience with, Luke Kennard, I think Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, get a chance to play significant minutes in big games and big situations. And I think you've seen Zoo, continue to grow, every single game.
We'll go over to Nick.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Ty. Michael Porter Jr. over the last 20 games is shooting 51% from three on five and a half attempts a game. You don't see that kind of production and efficiency with a 6'10" guy very often. What kind of comes to your mind first about him as a shooter, and do you draw any comparisons?
Not really. I think, because he can put the ball on the floor. He's not your typical stretch forward. Like, he's athletic. He'll dunk on you. He can get to the basket. He's a great offensive rebounder. But like you said, his shooting is great. I remember he came out in the draft, and just being from Missouri and watching him play at the University of Missouri, they say he was the best shooter in the draft. And I heard that a lot, even when he was a rookie, when he didn't play. They say he was the best shooter on the team, and guys didn't believe it. But he can really shoot the basketball. He can really score the basketball. And, being 6'10", you're not closing it to his chest. Your contest really doesn't matter with him. So we got to do a good job with him and understand where he's out on the floor and be aware at all times.
Thank you.
Thanks. Go to Law.
Hey, Ty. Speaking of young guys, I was curious about Daniel Orturu because last time I asked about him, he was still on the team. You mentioned Pat's the backup center with Serge being out. Serge's been out an extended period of time. He's been traded. Daniel hasn't played before fourth quarter all year, and just want to know what the kind of development plan is for him right now. What does he need to do, or what are you looking for from him at this point of the season?
Just do what he's been doing. I think continue to work every single day with our player development staff, continue to keep getting the reps in practice and understand what we're trying to do. He did go away for a while to play in the G League, and then he got hurt. So just bringing him along slow, just making sure he's picking up everything we're trying to do. I don't think it's too much he can do different. I think he's been great. We're just trying to learn the game and understand what we're trying to do.
Farbod and good.
Hey, Coach. I don't know if you saw last game. Andre Drummond comes in, comes out, gets hurt so quickly after. And it seems like that seems to be the story all around the league, whether it's you guys or the Lakers. Have you ever gotten time to discuss to some of the other coaches where it's just like, man, this year is just ridiculous in terms of injuries? Or have you not even gotten that time to kind of discuss with coaches around the league?
Not a lot of time. I think, having a game every night or, every other night. I think it's our 6th game in 9 nights. So, just like you said, you got to be able to adjust. Guys got to step up. And we got to just keep playing. Guys are getting injured, left and right. But, there's nothing we can really do about it. Just try to, like I said, cut minutes, cut practice time, do different things to try to keep these guys healthy. But, when you're competing like this at a high level, and like I said, the season's been condensed, it's kind of tough. So, we just got to just keep rolling with it. I'm not sure what we can do right now.
Cam, you good?
Hey, what's good, Coach?
So,
I want to ask you about playing Kawhi. Trying to save some of your plays for the future. What's the balance that you have between that kind of saving some of your playbook and then making sure these players, your team, kind of gets rolling tonight, bounce back from the loss the other night?
Not really from the offensive playbook. I think it's more so defensively. I think your different traps, different double teams, different things like that. Offensively, we just slowly starting to add. Can't go too fast, like I said, till we get Rondo back and get him healthy, get him on the floor, and just so we can see what we're doing, and then continue to add from there. But I think our team has done well as far as just picking things up. Sometimes they don't know what we're calling on the fly, but for the most part, they are getting better at it. And it's kind of hard, when you got guys playing out of position when guys are hurt, and different guys are playing different positions. So sometimes it gets kind of tough, but for the most part, they're doing a good job.
Speaking of having guys play out of position, does that kind of help you for the future? Because now they'll have some minutes in that role where they may not have had that had you have the collected roster all the way through the season. That in the playoffs, that might help you out. Do you kind of see that way?
Yeah, you would hope so. I think guys playing different positions. Nick playing the 3, 4, and the 5. Marcus playing the 3, 4, and the 5. I think Pat playing the 4 and the 5. So Terrence Mann playing a little 4, Amir playing a little 4. So I think it will help us in the long run. Like I said, we just got to keep pushing. Like I said, till guys get healthy, hold the fort down, and continue to keep doing what we're doing. I think building great habits and coming out every single night with a defensive mindset. And like I said, you're not going to shoot the ball well every night. You're not going to score every night, but your defensive mindset and your principles can be there every night. And I think we've done a great job of that, the second half of the season.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
We got time for one more. We'll go to Justin Russo.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Aaron, I'm sorry, not Aaron Gordon. With the guys that have been out in recent games, it's allowed players like Reggie, Terrence, Luke to play more minutes than they probably normally get. What have you seen out of them in the last few games with that extra time?
They play well. I think they stepped in and played very well, and our bench has been great, for us in the last, I think, 3 or 4 games, and for those guys to get the experience they're getting, Reggie's a veteran, but I think Luke, finally getting comfortable, understanding his role, and for him to take 18 shots last game is a plus for me. I don't care how many he makes, just taking those shots and being aggressive. And I think Terrence Mann, I think he's growing every game, and to see that he struggled making shots last game, but to bounce back tonight, and just so you can kind of just see, the growth and what they're able to do. So it's a great experience for those guys. And like I said, they're doing a good job of holding the fort down till our guys get healthy.